got to my office, I was done. I was like so tired, I could barely breathe. And that got progressively worse, right? And I eventually had to go to the hospital because I couldn't lay down without coughing. So I was sleeping. I spent 2 days sleeping, sitting up on the couch like this. So I go to the hospital, and they were like, "Oh, did you eat some Chinese food or something? Maybe allergic to, you know, something in it?" And I was like, you know, they figure you live in the Bronx around here, you probably ate some Chinese food. They were right. They were right.
That was the diagnosis?
That was the diagnosis. So they gave me some cough syrup. And I took that cough syrup, and that did not go away. So then I went back to the hospital, to Montefiore. They gave me a chest x-ray. They said, "Oh, you have pneumonia." I'm like, "Oh my God, pneumonia." So they gave me some medicine, a Z-Pack, to like clear up the pneumonia. After 3 days, I felt like I was gonna die. So after they gave me the Z-Pack and I started really still feeling bad, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna go back to Montefiore. I've been there 2 times.
Right.
I don't feel better. So being that my children were born down on 16th Street at Beth Israel, I decided to go there. I was like, let me go down there and see what I get. I went there, and you know, they do the normal thing. They take your blood pressure and everything, and they go like, "Let me take your blood pressure again." And then it was like, "Oh, we want to do a EKG." I had never had an EKG before. I was like, "What?" So they did an EKG. The technician, and she goes out the room and she comes back in, and she's like, "I have to do it again." She's like, "How old are you?" I was 30. I was 30 years old. My children were like 3 months old. They happened to be with their father one of the few times. Right?
We're gonna say thank you for the few.
Thank you for, yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't I wouldn't have gone that day if I would have had to drag the kids with me, right? So she does the EKG again, and she's like, "I'll be right back." And she comes back and she says, "You have children, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, they were born here," which is probably why they know, because it probably showed up because they were born there at that hospital. But we weren't at the main hospital. We were at the offices at Union Square. Like, that's where all the doctors have their offices, right? So she was like, "Well, where are they?" She's like, "Where are they now?" And I said, "They're with their father." And she's like, "Okay." And without any real, like, preparation, she tells me that she ordered an ambulance to take me to the main hospital to do a more extensive test because something is not right with my EKG. At this point, I'm not surprised because I felt like I was dying.
You felt like something was going on. You just didn't know what.
Not only did I feel like it, other New Yorkers could see it, because for months I had a double stroller and no car. So anytime I had to go anywhere with Khalid and Asiya, I'm up the train steps with a double stroller. Men didn't help me. They'd be like, "I want to talk," you know.
You're in the way.
I'm in the way.
They're rushing, right?
They're rushing. Now on this day, I'm by myself. I'm trying to go up the stairs at 14th Street in Union Square. Men were like, "Miss, do you need help? Do you need some help?" That's how bad I look. I don't even know how I got up those stairs. So when I walked in that office and she's taking EKGs and shit, I knew something was wrong. That's why I went. So when they sent me to the hospital, to the main hospital, one of the like, when they put me in this room, it was like a dark room. It was like a room inside of a room. Like where they have the people that are on the other side of the glass and they're looking at you and saying shit to you. And so one of them, before they started, they asked me, "You have children, right?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Where are they?" And I'm like, they're in Brooklyn with their father." And they go, "Oh, okay." And I was like, she's like, "Oh no, because you know we have to run these tests, and I don't know if you need to call and like tell somebody you're gonna be longer." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I was like, "No, they're gonna be there, right?" So okay, so they do whatever this testing is. Then the doctor comes in, and the doctor says, "You have children, right?" And I said, "Yes, I do." And he goes, where are they? And so I said to the doctor, I was like, do I need to have them here? Like, do I need to say goodbye to them? Because I felt like I was dying. I knew something was wrong. And he was like, no, you don't have to say goodbye to them. He was like, but let me explain to you what's happening. He was like, you're having a heart attack.
You were in the midst of a heart attack while they keep asking you this.
A heart attack is not like that.
I know. Which is what most people believe.
You think, oh, I'm having a heart attack. Because that's what I thought.
Wait. Okay. I didn't need you to make that because I was like, okay, I'm going to start crying. But, so 30 years old.
I'm 30.
Twins, 3 months old, and you're being told in an ER by yourself during an EKG that you're in the midst of a heart attack.
Yes. And so
I
said,
what went through your mind right then?
I said, I'm telling you, I said to him, do I have time to get my children here to take a last picture so they have a picture to remember me? And he said, you don't need to get a picture because you're here now and we're going to help you. And so he had a needle in his hand and he injected something into my arm that made my arm feel like it was on fire.
Hot. Was it the dye?
No, it was some medicine. And he said, I'm giving this. He might have told me what it was. I couldn't. There wasn't that kind of time. It was just like, no. He had it in his hand.
Right.
Yeah. And he injected it into my arm and he was like, you're going to be admitted here. He was like, wherever your children are, can they be there? And I said, well, how long do they have to be there? And he was like, you're going to be here for some time. And I ended up being in there for almost 3 weeks. I was in a tertiary. Do you know what a tertiary unit is?
That's how I'm hearing this word.
Me too. I had never heard of a tertiary. You know what it is? I was in a room at 30 years old with 2 other residents of the hospital, whatever you want to call them, patients, a nurse's station was in my room. So there was a crash cart in case any of us had a heart attack. So I was there for like a few weeks, and they were
while you're there,
Kylie and I said, well, with their father.
He's aware of it.
Yes.
Your mom?
My mother, everybody, yeah, but they were in South Carolina. My mother was in South Carolina. My sister was still here at that time.
But you reached out and everybody knows what's going on.
Everybody knew what's going on, yeah.
Okay.
So, but the kids were with their father. And then their father comes and tells me, I have a trip with my friends. I'm going on a trip, so you gotta come get the kids. I was like, what do you...
You're still in the hospital?
I was in the hospital.
And he knows you're in the hospital? And he knows why you're in the hospital?
Yes.
My brothers, my men, y'all have got to do better. You have got to do better. We're talking some odd years ago, but women, we have got to do better on who we're picking for our mates and our children's father, and people being so self-absorbed in I don't even know what that looks like. I can't imagine what that looks like or how that had to feel like.
It was
because it comes across not only insensitive. Here is that you possibly could die, and he wants to know where his kids are going to go because he has to go away. Not thinking that they may be with you for the rest of your life.
Because he wants to go away.
Right. Wants to go away. You've got to do better.
Right. And you know what? My mother told me. My mother tried to tell me. She was like, I'm telling you. And I just wish she was being negative.
We never listen to them.
We don't.